But we have a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And First Alert meteorologist Patrick P., I guess it says it's 89 degrees outside, which is nothing compared to what we've actually experienced in the last few days, right?
No, it's definitely a nice cool down. Welcome cool down. Enjoy it because the 7-day forecast shows that temperatures are going to be returning to the 90s.
I saw the next weekend is going to be really hot.
Yeah, it's going to be really hot again,
Okay.
unfortunately.
All right.
So this is your official heads up. Just be prepared to stay hydrated. Not much of a break in these numbers. We're keeping an eye on the tropics as well. Things are heating up out there. We brought to you yesterday potential cyclone 1, and right now it's still very disorganized. And you can see that terminology may be a little bit confusing, but essentially it means that this is a disturbance that is unorganized. They haven't really found a tight center of circulation, but it has a lot of characteristics of a tropical system. Winds are sustained at 40 miles per hour. We do expect to find some tightening in that center of circulation over the course of the next 24 hours, and that is why we have that potential cyclone 1 status. Also, it allows to give folks a heads up that they could be dealing with a tropical storm on land over the course of the next day. And you can see that intensification is in the forecast as we head through the next 24 hours. We expect those winds to get up to at least 45, maybe 50 miles per hour and bring some rain to Texas. We always tell you don't just watch the cone because that's just where the center of circulation is forecast to go, somewhere within that cone, but the rain bands will extend far beyond that. Elsewhere in the tropics, we've been telling you about this area of low pressure that's been off the coast. It's moved a little bit further to the east, but it will move back westward. And right now, it's marginally conducive to see some development, about a 20% chance over the course of the next 7 days. But we're also watching the Gulf of Mexico, not the system that we just showed you. But after this system moves inland, we're expecting another disturbance to move in that same region. And it's very favorable. We're talking about low shear, very warm sea surface temperature. So we expect some slow development out of that next system as well. Here's the play-by-play on what's going to happen in the Gulf of Mexico. We do expect some tightening of the circulation as we head through the next 24 hours, moving on land sometime Thursday, bringing all of that rain to Mexico, but also portions of South Texas. If you have plans Wednesday evening, Thursday evening to travel to Texas, this could also bring some rain, I'd say from Beaumont all the way down to Brownsville, Texas. Once that system moves inland, another low will actually make its way into the Bay of Campeche, and you can see those isobars, those black lines making a circle. That's indicating that we could get some development, and we'll see that system move in a very similar direction. So something we'll keep an eye on. Right now, not looking like that will impact us closer to home. We could use the rain, but not getting much of it. The clouds, though, are helping us out. It's keeping temperatures a little bit cooler. 89 here in Atlanta, 86 Marietta, 85 Chamblee. We are a little bit cooler once you head into the mountains. We are expecting temperatures to be a little bit cooler through the overnight tonight compared to where they've been over the course of the last week. Upper 60s, low 70s for the start of the day tomorrow. A little bit more sunshine as we head into the afternoon, and that's going to allow temperatures to climb into the upper 80s, but I think we'll see that heat wave break tomorrow afternoon. But temperatures will be warming back up as we head into your Thursday, already in the mid 80s as we approach lunchtime, getting into the upper 80s, low 90s for that afternoon commute. And then we'll see temperatures dip back into the 70s as we head into the evening hours. 7-day forecast show we hit 91 Thursday afternoon, and looks like we'll be starting another heat wave as we head into the weekend. Juneteenth parade forecast will be warm. We're going to be out there, but it's going to get up to 95 degrees in the afternoon. So make sure that you hydrate and take frequent breaks. And temperatures continue to warm through the weekend into the beginning of next week. Low end rain chances stick around through next Tuesday.
Yeah. And